Hello, my friends. Happy Thursday. Hope you are all doing well. I'm just going to give it just a second to make sure my live pops up on the other side of the screen. But as you come in, say hello to me. It looks like I am good to go. Perfect. Hey, Stacy. Hello, my beautiful friend. Welcome in and welcome back to Template Thursday with Tammy. Today is Thursday, January 22nd at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you are watching me during that time frame, you are catching me live right here on YouTube. Come in, say hello, let me know if you're new here. I know my friend Stacy is new here, so welcome in, my friend. I always like to shout you guys out. Welcome in, Kara. Welcome in, my friends. Hi, Shannon. Hello, my friends. Happy Thursday. You know it's Template Thursday. For those of you that don't know me, hello, welcome. My name is Tammy Civello, and welcome to Cards by TLC. And this is episode 3 of Template Thursday of Tammy. Like I mentioned, for 2026, I will be making my own templates and using them and in hopes to inspire you to do 2 templates, 2 ways getting 2 different, 1 template, 2 ways getting 2 different looks. Good morning, Sherry. Welcome in, my friend. So, my friends, guess what I have today? I actually have my binder and I created a cover for it. Yes, thank you, ChatGPT. You know me. You know I'm a sloth girl. If you don't know, I am obsessed with sloths. So that is my deal. And my branding is blue butterflies in honor of my daddy. And then my favorite color is blue. So we have a crafting sloth holding a template for Template Thursday with Tammy. So I thought that this was the perfect, it nailed it. I put into chat what I wanted and it nailed it right out of the gate. So I mentioned before, this is my template binder that I always refer to each week. I started with my new 2026 templates. Let me turn this really quick. I started with my 2026 templates. So you can print these out. It has the episode date on it. It has my blog post date, so you can download your own templates, create your own binder. So full disclosure, I didn't get the blog post up in time, so I will have that blog post today at cardsbytlc.com. So for episode 3, we have our blog post that's actually going to be on my blog post tomorrow, January 23rd. But this is our template that we're using today, but I had to share my cute little cover for my little blog and my butterflies. So we'll be adding our templates into the binder in at the end of the live. So we have our templates that we are using today. These are our templates that I created along with today's projects. As you can see, we have beautiful, elegant thinking of you type cards that we're going to be creating today. Today's featured bundle is actually, let me grab this really quick, is the Lovely Arrangements bundle. It's actually in the online exclusive, the January online exclusive release, and it's part of the Lovely Blossoms suite, but we are just using the featured bundle today, the Lovely Arrangements bundle. Again, this is in the online exclusives January release. So it's part of the suite. Sadly, you know what, guys? I have to say this was not on the unorderable list. And as of this morning, it is unavailable, or I just didn't notice it, so I apologize. So technically, this bundle is not available until like February 2nd-ish, the week of February 2nd. But what I love about this is that Stampin' Up! Has created this feature where if you click on the bundle, you can add your email to that and you can submit and click that big notify me. It will email you and let you know when it is back in stock. So I'm still going to go ahead and go forward with the bundle. We're going to go over the bundle really quick. The stamp set is a photopolymer stamp set that has 12 stamps featuring 9, that's it, 9 great sentiments in different fonts. You know I'm a font girl. I actually look at the fonts first and then what the sentiment is. I absolutely love that. It is so popular. It is so, so popular. So, it has great sentiment, sending smiles, always here for you, hello friend, thank you, love you, and then some other sentiments. It has 3 images that have coordinating dies. Again, I am a font girl. We're going to be using, the samples have always here for you, but we're going to be using sending smiles in today's projects. The dies, I absolutely love the coordinating dies. This is another new thing that I'm wanting to do, and thanks for the tip for my dear friend Patty. I actually am creating these templates for myself, cutting out all of the die pieces, and this way it actually shows what the dies actually cut out. We have these 2 top featured shapes. We're going to be using the circles, and I'm going to show you a tip on the circles on creating a fun scallop. We have this great little background piece, and what I'm going to be using this background piece is, where did I do? Here it is. This does not cut out the actual die. It actually just leaves the cut out impressions. And what I did was I cut the die itself, and then I'm going to be using this as a template to create blending little stars or flowers or whatever they are, plus signs, whatever the shape is, into the background of my cards. So to give it just kind of like a soft background look. So that's a great idea to do, or you can use it for a background piece itself. We have these pieces right here that cut out our sentiments, and then of course we have our 2 floral stamps that cut out, and then the leaf, and then detailed leaves that we're going to be using on that. So I just kind of wanted to go over what I'm starting to showcase, in that we are not using the designer paper that is in the suite. I thought it would be fun to kind of mix things up. Plus I didn't get the paper yet. I'm borrowing the bundle from my friend Patty, so I didn't get the suite yet, but it's on my list. So I thought it would be fun to do a more soft look, and the Nature Walk designer paper is great. And as I mentioned last week, these are the samplers that I like to create with the designer papers, just so I can cut the designer paper out. I use a 1-inch circle punch to use the coordinating colors that come with this. I create this on PicMonkey. I'll do a blog post. I think I'll post it maybe on Saturday and show you how I create these, and 2 different ways of doing this that I like to do. I like to do one of 2 ways, so I'll show you both ways. So let me come in. Hello, Amanda. Hello, my friends. Hope you are all doing well. Oh my gosh, I'm having all my friends here today. Such a great day. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Like I said, we are creating 2 thinking of you type cards. 1 template, 2 ways, and of course we got to look at the templates again. Let me pull this out and get this stuff out of the way. So we're going to start with the vertical orientation of the templates. I used the basic white card bases, the thick basic whites. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I used the thick basic white card bases. I'm going to be using Lost Lagoon on today's project, but it kind of gave it a nice, soft, elegant, clean look. You know me, my card designing is a lot like a clean look. So we're going to start with that. So we're starting with a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of cardstock. Oh, let me get this stuff out of the way and get all my bits and pieces. So I have a piece of Lost Lagoon that is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And we're going to be using that. And then I have 2 pieces of basic white that are 4 by 5 1/4 that are going to go on the front and on the inside. And then I have pre-cut out the largest square in my Stylish Shapes bundle. So we're going to use the largest square in Lost Lagoon. And then let me show you a quick tip on cutting these circles to make a fun scallop look along the side. And then of course we have our designer paper that is cut at 4 by 5 1/4 that I'm literally going to be cutting that into 2 strips for our 2 cards. But let me get out my paper trimmer. And we're going to cut off the end pieces because we're going to use these edge pieces to give us the look of a scallop. So we're going to line this up along here into our track of our cutting guide, our paper trimmer, and it's going to line that up right in that track where that circle starts to connect each other. That's where we're going to detach that strip of circles, and we're going to use that strip for our scallop, and then we're going to rotate that and cut off the other edge. Line that back up in the tracking, cut that straight down. And then we can use these for a later project. You can put that off to the side. You don't need to use that today. So we are actually going to be trimming off some of these little scallop circles just to line up with that designer paper. But let's go ahead and cut the designer paper in half. It's at 4 inches right now, so we're going to cut that right in half at 2 inches. Oh, that's a great question. So, I don't know who 2012 MRP 213 is asking if the template for the DSP sampler is available to print out. That is a great question. I can make these available to print out. That's actually a really great idea. I think I can go ahead and add that and get these to where they're printable for you. So if you're looking for a specific printable cutout, I will make that printout available for you guys. So thank you so much. I don't know your first name, so I can't refer you to your first name, but thank you so much. That is a great suggestion. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much, you guys. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and start on our piece. We have our insert piece that I'm going to actually do some stamping on the inside too. So I think what I'm going to do on the inside piece, we'll go ahead and get that done and out of the way. I'm going to come in and just stamp and do exactly what I did on the outside, on the inside of the card. So we have, for our sentiments, we have sending smiles. And then I'm going to do You Are So Lovely, and this is crooked, so let me go ahead and lay that flat. With photopolymer stamps, because they're bendable, you want to lay them flat on your surface so they can spread out. And then you want to attach it to your clear block. And then I am going to go ahead and bring in the Lost Lagoon ink. And we are going to, I think, let me find a piece of scratch paper to, okay, let me get a piece of scratch paper because I'm going to be cutting off probably the corner of the flower. Hi, Julie. Welcome in, my friends. I have so many of my TikTok friends on here. My TikTok family. And then I'm going to come in with my Sending Smiles, which I'm going to actually stamp that in Pretty Peacock to match. Oops, sorry. We're going to do Sending Smiles on the outside. And then we have You Are So Lovely. So we're going to stamp that like so. And then I'm going to come in with our blender pen. This doesn't get a lot of love. So I'm going to come in with that. And what that does is that is going to collect some of the ink and we're going to spread that out. And I'm just going to kind of pull and accentuate the coloring of the ink. And the reason, normally if you do it right away, you can pull the colors directly from the stamped image, but because I let it sit just a little bit, and you want to make it as dark as you can. If I just like pull the colors, see how light that does? It gives it a nice soft look, but I want to make it just a little bit darker, so I'm just going to come in with the corner of my ink pad. There we go. There we go. So there is the inside of our card. We'll go ahead and attach that on the inside. And let's get our card base. Starting to bury things over here. Okay. And that is going to go on the inside of the card. And then the card front, we have our 4 by 5¼ inch piece of basic white. So we can go ahead and adhere that and lay that down now. And then we will go ahead and I will show you how to attach the scallop pieces on how I did that along the edge of my 2-inch strip of designer paper. Okay. Get this out of the way. So we have our scallop pieces or our circle dies. And as you can see, it kind of has like flat edges. So that's going to go on hidden underneath our designer paper. And we're going to attach that laying down these circle dies. But as you can see, this goes actually past that designer paper. So we do need to trim off these bottom 3 down here. The bottom 3 need to be removed. So I'm just going to come in with my snips and come in at a circle and circle that out. Okay. Throw that away. And then we're just going to line this back up just like so. And then I'm going to come in with my liquid glue and I'm just going to add some glue along the left side of that circle. And then we're going to lay that paper flat. Okay. And then we're just going to lay that flat. Oh, not drop it. Lay that flat. Come on, sneak under there. There we go. Bump that up so the circles connect. And then we have our cute little scallop edge. And then I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that to the front of our card base. Ooh, that's even pretty too. Both sides of this are pretty. I love this paper. It's great for just like a soft look, as well as it makes a great masculine card. So if you're looking for designer paper that is great for that. There we go. So we have that all set and ready to go. And now we have our circle or our square. This is a square. So we have our square piece. Again, it's the largest square from the Stylish Shapes dies. Just going to go ahead and adhere that. Then I'm going to bring in a piece of basic white, and we're going to do the exact same thing with our flowers, but we'll die cut them out this time. But we're going to do the exact same thing on our coloring. Let me get the coordinating dies. Everything's getting buried under here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and die cut these out. Let's line up the circle here. Let's find out where. Sometimes you got to kind of rotate this and see where it lines up, just like that. Then, as you know, I like to use my Post-its to hold them in place. And then we'll run that through the die cutting machine right here off to the side. Hang on just 1 second, guys. Run that through. Hang on. I think this just got... Before I do that, I think this got moved a little bit. I want to make sure that that's lined up just like so it doesn't leave a wonky edge. There we go. Okay. Get our pieces here. Perfect. I'm glad you're liking this, Amanda. See, I'm teaching you guys how to make the cards. It's not as complicated as people think it is. With the right tools and the right guide. That one did get jumpy a little bit. That's okay, though. It's homemade. Okay, now I'm going to come back in with my blending pen again and just kind of color these lines in. See, I can always flip that around and we'll put that on top of that. So there's ways when it does jump off a little bit. But it's not too off. And you, even though it looks stained, you could still use this on a different color. I just squiggle that off and get that ink off until it comes clear. And there we go. But I have one for greens, I have one for blues, I have one for reds, and I have one for kind of like every color family. So it kind of is okay. Okay. Now let's go ahead and So remember the circle dies that I showed you really quick? Let me pull this in. So on the circles, it also, when you're cutting this out, it cuts out these diamond pieces. And you can save those diamond pieces for either a shaker card or even like embellishments for this card. Maybe we'll add that. Maybe we'll add a couple of the diamond pieces for even like as an embellishment for this card. But I have already cut out for the leaves of this. I have already cut out the detailed leaves dies in the designer paper. So when I cut this piece at 4 by 5 1/4, it gave me the bottom half of this shading of this paper, and it gave me great, pretty peacock looking leaves. And then I have already pre-tied a couple bows because you know me and my bows on screen. I don't like to do that, or it doesn't, we would be here till tomorrow. Okay, so back to adding our flowers. We do still have to stamp our sentiment. Let me go ahead and grab our piece of Lost Lagoon. Let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment and get that ready. I'm going to stamp that up in Pretty Peacock. So we have Sending Smiles. I'm going to go ahead and do that twice. So we'll go ahead and stamp and die cut that out for the second layout. Again, we're still working on the vertical layout, and then we'll flip it to horizontal in just a few moments. And then let's get our die. We'll go ahead and die cut this out. Just a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Introduce each other. I have lots of my new friends in here today, so it's great to see you all in here learning more about what I do. And this is what I do. I love to come on here each week and teach you guys on how to make these cards, with some fun tips and tricks along the way. So we have Sending Smiles. Okay. That is all the die cutting I believe we need to do on this one. Probably should have went ahead and did the others while we were at it, but we can do it one card at a time. Okay, so let's go ahead and come back in here. All my friends are saying hello to each other. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add a foam adhesive sheet, or you can use a Stampin' Dimensional to pop this flower up. I have some foam adhesive sheets all cut up into little pieces. So I'm just going to lay that down in the corner here. And then we're going to come in with our other piece right here. And I'm going to take the double leaf here and kind of come in and lay that on the back of the foam adhesive sheet so that holds that down, but gives it the leaf like so. And there is that one. And then I'm going to come in with the single leaf and just glue that down to the square. Isn't Lost Lagoon such a pretty color? I'm a blue-green girly, so this is, honestly, these color combos are like part of my branding. The blues are part of my branding. So there is that. And then we're going to come in with our sending smiles of our sentiment, and we're just going to glue that down right in the center. Then I'm going to come in with a glue dot and put the bow right here in the corner. And this is just white baker's twine that I'm using. So there is card number 1, or I should say layout number 1 of our template. So again, this is the vertical version of our template. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to our horizontal. So just by literally rotating that and giving you a different look, this is the orientation of this one right here. So we're going to go ahead and do that exact same way that we just did before. And I said that I was going to add those little diamonds. What do you guys think? Do you think we should add them? Let me see. Let me lay a couple down. See if this kind of treats it as an embellishment. So we have this. We have these. Do you guys think we should add them to the thing for as little embellishments? I know that there's a slight delay. I know. Okay, so it is a great use for the pieces. Okay. Let's go ahead and just do a little dollop of glue, or even a glue dot would work fine. But I'm going to take the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool and lay that down like so. And then that way it adds just a little bit of element to your card. Oops. Oh, come on, Tammy. Okay. Okay. There. Add in just a little bit of fun to the card. Okay, let's go ahead and get out our pieces for our second version. Now, typically I did a standard card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and giving you a fold. This way, I thought it would kind of give you a different look. So it does more of a side fold rather than just a standard like book fold. Okay, so let's go ahead and do what we did before. Oh, let's do Lost Lagoon. So we'll do our little flower. Leave that out. And then we have You Are So Lovely. Just to give them a little thinking of them type card. And then let's grab our ink blending pen again and pull out that color. Goes a long way. I probably could have technically done the whole flower, but okay. close the ink so I don't get ink all over the place. And then add our tape. Thank you, Shannon. Oh my goodness. I have so many of my friends in here. That's exciting. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our designer paper, or our basic white, laid down first. Okay, and then let's go ahead and cut our circles again. Again, we're just taking the edge, 2 edge pieces. Flip that. There we go. Use that for later. So we're going to remove the bottom 3. Yep. Okay. Add our liquid glue. Then I'm going to lay that right on top, leaving that scallop hanging off. And then this way, we're going to put the orientation going horizontal to give you a completely different look. I feel like I'm dabbing bingo daubers, like boop, boop, boop. Okay, then we have our stylish shaped square that we're going to lay that down. And we need to color our 2 flower pieces again. So let me bring in my cardstock here. Stamping in Lost Lagoon again. And our coordinating dies. Oh, I couldn't have done that so fast if I tried. That lined up real quick. I didn't have to fuss at that one. Okay. Just 1 second, and I will die cut these pieces out for us. We're doing this live and not with the magic of TV today. There we go. That one die cut out much better. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring back our Lost Lagoon. Probably could have done this all at once, but that's okay. So again, just adding the color. Okay. Just going over those stamped lines. Here we go. Let's do this one. Okay. We have our other flower here. Let's get our pieces. Let's see. Okay, that will bump that up just like so. This one needs to be trimmed a little bit. Shannon, the stamp set is the Lovely Arrangements stamp set or bundle. Hold on just 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. So the stamp bundle is Lovely Arrangements. It's actually part of the suite from the online exclusive of Lovely Blossoms. Unfortunately, is not available at the moment. It will be back in stock on the week of February 2nd or sooner. Sometimes they do get them in sooner. So make sure that if you click on it, just add your email list and it'll add your email to it and it'll notify you as soon as it gets in stock. I realized that this morning. I went online to grab something and realized it was not available. So I'm like, okay, well, we're still going to work with it because it's going to be back in stock. So, oh, I forgot to do my little trick here. Do my little double leaf hanging down. Come in with my single leaf. Hopefully it is available sooner. Absolutely. Okay, so there is that. And then we have our Sending Smiles. And then we have our glue dots. Grab my take your pick. We'll just pull our little glue dot off. Or not. Okay. And then let's go ahead and add our little stars like we did on the first one. These little containers are so perfect. I got them off of Amazon after watching one of Patty's lives. They are so handy, and I'm so glad I have them. I'll be sure to link them in the description box below, as well as the binder and the sheets, the sheet protectors. Kind of making our own little embellishments. And at least I know these won't stick up off of the card, right? And they make great pieces for shaker cards as well. Okay. There we have it, my friends. There is one template, 2 ways, 2 different looks. Let me bring back in my templates. So we have our horizontal templates as well as our vertical template here. Which one do you guys like? Do you guys like the horizontal? Do you guys like the vertical? Let me pull the templates out, and then that way you guys can decide which one is your favorite. Do you guys like the white base or the Lost Lagoon base? I did share my binder, Patty. Let me show you. Oh, we got to put our pages in our binder, so this is actually a great time for doing that. Here's our sweet little binder. So we got to get, let me grab our sheet protectors really quick, and we will go ahead while you guys are voting which one you guys liked the best. I'm going to grab my 2 sheet protectors and we'll put the sheets in our binder. Shannon likes to send in loves. Okay. And I have the binder linked. I'll have the binder linked below, the sheet protectors linked below, as well as the little containers. Those are so fun. They're great for crafting pieces. So we are just going to add that to our binder, so we are good to go. And again, the blog post for this is going to be up tomorrow on January 23rd. And I apologize for missing last week's. I'm going to have that up a little bit later today. So both of those will be up today and tomorrow. And you can grab your templates for your own little binder. But these are the cards that we created today. So let me grab them. We have our white version and our Lost Lagoon version. It gives you kind of different looks even. Oh, so good to see you too, Shannon. And I hope you heal so much better. I hope your hand heals very, very quickly. That is horrible when you break any type of bones. I've been there. So I hope you heal up just nicely, my friend. So that is it for me today, my friends. I want to thank you for joining me for another Template Thursday. Again, these layouts will be on my blog post tomorrow at cardsbytlc.com. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button, notification bell to all. And if you like today's video, please give it a thumbs up because that helps my channel grow. And I would appreciate that. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much to my beautiful friends that are here off of TikTok that followed me over here. And I want to thank you all for joining me. And I will see you all Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for Valentine's Day cards. I think I'm going to do some more Valentine's Day fun. So I will see you all hopefully on Sunday. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all next time for more creative fun. Bye, everyone.